And a very good morning to you. It is 7 a.m. Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. Welcome to New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We will take your calls, 888-658-0234. You like sun? You got it. You like some clouds? Got them too. A little mix of sun and clouds today, a little windy too, with highs in the upper 50s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta can explain it all with the Garden State forecast. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning to you, Ken. Yeah, we start off our day nice and sunny, beautiful, but chilly. Look at these temperatures right now. Up in northern New Jersey, there in Sussex, 28 degrees. How about below the freezing mark in Morristown? 30 degrees for you. A touch milder in Long Branch at 51, but it feels chilly right down the shore with those temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. It's still about 2 degrees milder than this time yesterday, so plenty of cool air in place. And now you see the clouds starting to work in from the south. This is the same system that will deliver all of the wind and rain by Thursday. So it's a very slow moving system as it treks across New Jersey. There are some gusty winds right now, especially at the shore points. That northeasterly wind gusting to 29 miles per hour currently in Atlantic City and Cape May, 26 miles per hour in Long Branch. That actually makes for a little bit of a wind chill. Feels like 38 in Toms River, 36 over in Newark. So plenty of cool air this morning with those winds going higher. It'll be a gusty afternoon. By the end of the day, those winds will be upwards of near 40-mile-per-hour gusts at the shore, even breezy a little further inland throughout tomorrow. And even by Wednesday, as the wind really gets whipping, look at that color offshore, that shade of purple. There's the 40-mile-per-hour winds on LBI, 38-mile-per-hour winds in Atlantic City, and it goes even higher as the system pulls up to the north and east. So giving us some very strong winds, some very heavy rains by Thursday. And you can see it on the futurecast. We're pretty quiet today. Just a few clouds around at the shore, with those clouds eventually moving in through the end of the day. Maybe some light showers later tonight at the shore points, and then spotty sprinkles tomorrow. Maybe barely enough to need the umbrella up in northern New Jersey as the rain gets going later tomorrow night. Then we start our day on Thursday. Look at the showers coming in, the shades of red and yellow and orange. Then a lot of heavy wet weather as the storm center passes on through. This is Thursday afternoon around 3 o'clock. So some really heavy rain taking us into Thursday evening. Oh, clearing out just in time for the trick-or-treaters on Halloween. So it's a fast-moving storm once we get beyond Thursday, because it clears out nicely and those northwesterly winds take over, driving in some drier weather and some clear skies by Friday. So most of the rain we'll see all this week happens on Thursday, and it could be upwards of 2 to 4 inches in some parts of the state. We'll tell you where. Coming up with another check of your forecast, Ken. That's in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. In the meantime, it is a chilly, as Mike said, 44 and a half degrees in northern New Jersey, and we have 40 in Trenton. 40 in Trenton. It's 39 degrees right now in Vineland, 41 down in Cape May. In terms of traffic, we got a lot of that. Down tree on Route 29 southbound north of Warren Street in Trenton. There you go with the Trenton. The ramp lane is closed. And we go over to the Garden State now. We have a crash on the GSP southbound by exit 131B, Metro Park and Woodbridge Township. All lanes and both shoulders are open, but you can see on the right side, you can see the brake, the taillights as those folks hit that area. So just be aware of that. Staying on the Garden State, let's see, also at 131. So within a mile of 131B, which I just told you about, we have a crash southbound, south of 131 at Wood Avenue South in Woodbridge Township with the right shoulder blocked. On 21, we have a crash northbound south of exit 6, which is Belleville Turnpike in Belleville. The left lane of the 3 lanes closed. And we have a crash on 78 local lanes eastbound west of exit 56, which is Elizabeth Avenue in Newark. The center lane is closed. Crash on the Turnpike exit ramp to 278 Goethals from interchange 13 in Elizabeth with the right shoulder blocked. And we have a crash on 280 both directions east of exit 15, Route 21 in Newark. All lanes open east, one left lane closed west. So that's in the vicinity of that Route 21 accident we told you about. In terms of the Hudson River crossings, Lincoln and Holland both reporting only 20 minutes right now, but look at the GWB. Upper and lower levels, somewhat slow, not horrible, about 25 to 30 making your way into Manhattan. At 7:04, President Trump was in Tokyo yesterday, still in Asia this morning, where he signed a rare earth mineral deal that gives the United States way more leverage against China, because at first we were getting most of our rare earth minerals from China. Well, this was the second day of his Asia tour as he looks to cement trade deals in his week-long trip. You'll recall he already cemented things between Cambodia and Thailand. They basically were on the verge of war, and he got them to become friends. Well, today Trump will meet with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. He's also expected to deliver remarks aboard the USS George Washington at Yokosuka Naval Base. That's the U.S. base in Japan. And he will attend a business leadership reception in the evening. The new Japanese Prime Minister, whom he adores, by the way, hopes to further trade ties in several critical areas. Over the summer, the two sides struck a deal that includes the U.S. charging 15% tariffs on Japanese goods, lower than the 25% originally threatened by the president, in exchange for Japan pledging to invest billions in U.S. industries. South Korea's next and final stop for the president's trip, which started over the weekend in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, a visit marked by trade frameworks between the U.S. and Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Thousands of voters gathered at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens on Sunday for the New York is Not for Sale rally in support of the self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. He's the 34-year-old frontrunner, flanked by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. The trio rallied the huge crowd on the first weekend of early voting in the city. A slew of state and local leaders also joined the rally, including Governor Kathy Hochul, who got heckled at one point, who endorsed Mamdani last month and has since been campaigning for him. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says that federal food aid will not go out November 1st amid the ongoing government shutdown. The administration said that under the law, it could not tap $5 billion in contingency funds to continue the payments into November. SNAP helps about 1 in 8 Americans, a number that actually increased by 5 million during the Biden administration at the urging of President Biden. It's kind of questionable as to how many people who are still on it still qualify, but that is one of the issues that makes the two presidents differ. Today is day 28 of the shutdown with no end in sight. At least 5 Senate Democrats are needed to pass the continuing resolution that would reopen things. Some states say they may try to keep benefits flowing independently, but the USDA says if that happens, they're not going to be reimbursing them. It's 7:07. The 800,000 strong American Federation of Government Employees has called for an immediate end to the shutdown. AFGE President Everett Kelly urged lawmakers to pass a clean continuing resolution. That's what the Republicans already did pass in the House, but it's not moving in the Senate. Democrats in the Senate again refused to extend the current spending plan that they already voted for under President Biden a year ago. Kelly pointed out that hundreds of thousands of federal employees are struggling. They're working without pay. They need to eat, feed their families. Many are actually relying on food banks. This is America. This should not happen. 7:08, Hurricane Melissa strengthened into a Category 5 storm as it is slamming parts of Jamaica. It could end up being the worst storm Jamaica has ever seen. Mike will tell you way more about that than I can. The storm is moving extremely slowly. That is the worst thing that can happen because it basically sit, spin, release. It dumps tons of water and the winds just whip the land and destroy structures and trees. Much of that island nation could receive, get this, 15 to 30 inches of rain, and some parts right around the eye wall could get up to 40 inches of rain. That'll cause catastrophic flooding. It appears a storm surge up to 13 feet may have already struck along Jamaica's southern coast. The storm is expected to hit southeastern Cuba and the Bahamas next. That deluge surge and slow movement make this storm especially dangerous and very potentially life-threatening. Our time is 7:09 right now, and Tyler Maxon Avalos, he is a 29-year-old man from St. Paul, Minnesota, has been arrested. He faces federal charges after allegedly posting a murder-for-hire type threat on TikTok, offering a $45,000 bounty for the killing of the woman you see on the screen there, Attorney General Pam Bondi. The TikTok post featured Bondi's image with a sniper scope red dot on her forehead, and he has the text there allegedly saying, "Wanted, Pam Bondi, reward $45,000, dead or alive," and in parentheses, preferably dead. The user's handle included an anarchist symbol, which has the word wacko, and the profile linked to an anarchist FAQ, frequently asked questions book, and other anti-government content. The feds say Avalos has a very long criminal history, including felonies. Our time is 7:10, and in Pennsylvania, one person was killed, six more hurt during a shooting that occurred over the weekend on Saturday. It was homecoming weekend there at the school. The incident happened at Lincoln University's main campus, which is located in Oxford, Chester County, just after midnight. The murdered student was a 25-year-old young man who was shot in the head. Investigators say the shooting started after a football game had ended, and a number of shooters may have been involved. It's not known if there was a direct connection to the football game or if maybe the game just brought a lot of people drinking and partying on campus, and that led to it. That's all being investigated by the FBI right now. They are heading that investigation. Well, they made a movie about this, sorta. Night at the Museum. Night at the Museum returns. Manhattan's American Museum of Natural History's popular A Night at the Museum, the overnight experience, which is very cool, by the way. It's a sleepover program, and it is underway now. The first sleepover just occurred on Friday night. There will be more dates in November and December if you want to get that ultimate gift that nobody has gotten your young person in your life. The event is for children ages 6 to 12. So sorry, Pam, you can't go. Our director, she hates anything horror. I mean, this isn't horror, though. This is natural history. The caregivers are allowed to go, though, with the 6 to 12-year-olds, obviously. They are offered the unique chance to explore the museum after hours and sleep under exhibits like the huge big blue whale model. That is huge. You got to check that out if you've never done that. The package includes the overnight stay, snacks, breakfast, a gift, private shopping access, and a museum pass for a future visit. Check out the website if you want to buy tickets. If you've never been, it's on the Upper West Side of Manhattan from northern New Jersey, depending on where you are. It's less than an hour drive in. I used to work in that neighborhood. There's lots of parking, easy to get to. So if you want to do something special, again, it's a night at the museum. You want to find out more, go to their website. You can get it online for the American Museum of Natural History. It is one of the iconic museums in Manhattan. If there's none other that you see, well, of course, the Met and then that one. Those are the two you really need to check out. Go on a nice fall day, check out the Central Park foliage, and go do that. Right now, it is just at the edge of 40 degrees in northern New Jersey, 41 in Trenton. We're going to have sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy with highs in the upper 50s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with a full Garden State forecast. And we will take your calls at 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings on your Tuesday. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Bergen Equestrian in Leonia is the top destination for horse riding, lessons, and exceptional horse boarding facilities on over 23 acres in Overpeck Park. Bergen Equestrian has programs for people of all ages and skill sets, indoor and outdoor riding areas, and a riding lounge. Riders can compete in horse shows and special events. Bergen Equestrian offers horse boarding and rentals, seasonal kids camps, and more. Consider Bergen Equestrian for unforgettable memories with kids' birthday parties, private events, weddings, and school trips. Visit bergenequestrian.com.
Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings for your Tuesday. I'm Ken Rosato. It's exactly 7:15, and we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234, 888-658-0234. We have an operator in the back right now going one ringy dingy, two ringy dingies. Let's see if you're old enough to remember that reference. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy with highs in the upper 50s. I don't think meteorologist Mike Favetta is old enough to remember that reference, do you?
Yes, I do. I certainly
Do you know
do.
the show? You know the name of the show?
SNL.
No.
Oh,
It's
no?
real. No. One ringy
Didn't
dingy,
they do
two
a
ringy
parody
dingies.
on it, though?
Oh, they probably did. This is from Rowan and
Oh, okay.
Martin's Laugh-In from the 60s and 70s. I
Oh,
worked for the guy who
gotcha.
invented it. That was Ruth Buzzy. No, I'm wrong. It was another female comedian who used to play the opera. I'll get her name. I will get her name. It was one of the funniest bits. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. I'll find something on the interweb and I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm been thinking maybe I'm getting my references crossed. Probably need another.
So
Need
did
another
I,
expression.
obviously. I forgot the name, so there you go.
Well, it's one of those mornings you step outside into this refreshing feel and go, whoo, a little chilly out there. And yes, it does feel cool this morning, especially with the air temperatures hovering just above freezing, even in central New Jersey. But this afternoon, we managed to make it into the upper 50s under mostly cloudy skies. We start off the day beautiful and bright and clear, and then through this afternoon, the clouds eventually work in. We can already see those clouds moving in. It's even from late last night, from the south to the north, with that easterly breeze pulling in some more moisture from the Atlantic. All of this is our rainfall that's coming throughout the day, late tomorrow night and into Thursday, as the system really ramps up in intensity and gets going, delivering quite a punch. Speaking of, that is the latest view of now major hurricane Cat 5 storm Melissa. And you can see this is what meteorologists like to call the buzz saw, because the satellite reflectivity there throughout the overnight shows it looks like a saw, like a saw blade going into the island. And the eye hasn't even made landfall yet. That'll happen later today. So portions of all of Jamaica, I should say, have been getting lashed with those gusty winds. And of course, the very heavy rainfall, as Melissa is forecast to make landfall later on today. I'll give you the update coming up, but it's sobering. 175 mile per hour maximum sustained winds with gusts higher than that. Now, our forecast back here for home brings back mostly cloudy skies for Sunday. I think we're dry, though. Tuesday is our next chance of significant rain, and even that is just a quick passing shower. By Wednesday of next week, we're back to the dry weather, so the weekend looking okay. Yesterday, we were thinking maybe a few passing sprinkles on Sunday. Now, likely just clouds, which is great because cloudy weather is perfect weather for the runners as they do their 26.2 miles around the 5 boroughs this Sunday. Anticipate more clouds, but overall, a temperature holding in the upper 50s is ideal running weather, especially when it's nice and dry. So the past few marathons have been rather mild. This one, seasonably cool, and we'll take that, Ken.
Yeah, the runners love that, right? They don't like it above like 45, 50 because when you got to run that long, it's hard. And by
Yeah.
the way, they got me a mile marker 20, WOR radio does, which is
Oh,
in the
exciting. That's
Bronx.
just
And
when the odors of the runner start to mature and marinate. Because let me tell you, that finish line,
marinate.
woohoo, it is a special smell.
You know what though? At that point, you really are so excited. I get
You
emotional
are,
when I'm
yes.
there. You get
Sure.
teary-eyed seeing them,
You
and you
do.
think it's only 26 miles. They're almost done. Mile marker 26 is actually like midway for them. And you say, why? The Bronx, once they come into the Bronx, they've gone up a hill to go over the bridge and then down, and then there are hills in that part of the Bronx, and then they have to make
Yeah.
hard turns. That
Uh-huh.
sucks. That is the worst. They have this look on their faces like they like saved my life. I'm dying. But that's when
Yeah.
everyone's got to ring the bell and cheer. So come out. If you've never come
Right.
out for a marathon to root these
It's
people
so
on,
much fun.
root them
Yeah.
on. It's great. It's more fun than you think it would be. It's amazing.
Yep.
So, Mike, thank you so much, sir, as always. 7:19 right now. We have a chilly 38.5 degrees northern New Jersey. It is 41 in Trenton. And in terms of traffic, look at the Garden State Parkway right now. Northbound, I'm sorry, Garden State Parkway. We have two different things going on here. And of course, they just reset it. But let's go down. There we go. Disabled vehicle on the Garden State at exit 90. So that's what you have here. So look on the right side of your screen there. You could see the bumper to bumper traffic. This is at exit 90 in the vicinity. Of course, they reset the screen again. Sorry. This is at the vicinity, Chambers Bridge Road in Brick Township with the right lane blocked, and that's causing that mess you're looking at right there. We also have a problem, a crash on I-78 eastbound by exit 24, Oldwick Road in Tewksbury Township. Two right lanes are closed there. And then the other area roadways that we have now, we have an issue on 78 local lanes eastbound west of exit 56, Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. Two right lanes are closed. Back to the Garden State at southbound north of exit 132, Woodbridge, one right lane blocked. And we have an issue at 131 Wood Avenue, south and Woodbridge. All lanes in both shoulders are open, but that's just causing a mess. So it's all, in fact, there's even a third thing, a 131B, all within a mile stretch. I have to wonder if they're all interconnected. There's one accident and then everybody hits their brakes and there's another accident. They're all within 3 accidents within a mile of each other in that area. On the New Jersey Turnpike, we have a crash southbound by the entrance ramp at interchange 9, Route 18, East Brunswick. All lanes on the left shoulder are now blocked. So listen to that. New Jersey Turnpike, southbound entrance ramp, interchange 9, Route 18, East Brunswick. All lanes and the entrance ramp are blocked. And we have an issue on Route 21. A crash south of exit 6, Route 7 in Belleville. That's the Belleville Turnpike in Belleville, the left lane, and the left lane is now closed there. Your Hudson River crossings, Lincoln and Holland, still only 20 to 25. Your GWB upper and lower, not so bad. It's moving. It's heavy, but moving. So you can see on the right side, the upper, lower on the left, and we're talking about a 30 to 35-minute crossover time. 7:21, a poll by Rutgers Eagleton Institute of Politics found Mikey Sherrill leading Jack Ciattarelli 44 to 35% among likely New Jersey voters. But amazingly, with a week from today is election day, you still have 17% who are like, I don't know. I don't know. Come on, people. The same survey showed demographic splits, women favoring Sherrill by 18 points, men favoring Ciattarelli. And this has been the case since day one. In fact, this is the case nationwide. Men are favoring Republicans. Women are favoring Democrats. Sherrill led Ciattarelli on issues such as education, infrastructure, and healthcare, while Ciattarelli held the advantage on jobs, the economy, and taxes. The question is, what's the bigger issue? If you go back to the rule of Clinton, remember President Clinton, it's the economy, stupid. That has always been, we're talking 40 years, been the most important issue. Do not be surprised if that is the issue on which this election sways. Polls show the race continues to tighten between the candidates. Early voting runs now. It's been on since this past weekend. It runs through this Sunday. Don't forget, Election Day itself is a week from today, next Tuesday. So make sure you vote. 7:23, shifts in responsibility for Medicaid funding are expected to cost New Jersey more than $3 billion annually by 2032. An estimated 350,000 low-income New Jersey residents could lose coverage under New Jersey Family Care as eligibility verification and work requirement rules are tightened. Translation, illegal aliens are no longer going to be covered. They never should have been under the law. Many, though, have been sneaking by with things like fake Social Security numbers and fake IDs. The new rules include adults needing to document 20 hours per week of work, school, or community service by 2027 and verifying eligibility twice a year instead of once. How expensive is Medicaid? You know that $60+ billion New Jersey budget? Between 40 and 50% of it, or your taxes, almost half of the state budget is Medicaid alone. That's how expensive it is. 7:23, police in Cherry Hill locked down a school after officers, including SWAT and FBI agents, swarmed a house on Walt Whitman Boulevard for a barricade situation while they had to serve a warrant. Horace Mann School, which was nearby, was placed on lockdown, but students, they say, were never in danger. Investigators say the subject of the warrant was eventually taken into custody later that day. And former Jets center Nick Mangold died from complications of chronic kidney disease. He was only 41. Mangold was diagnosed with a genetic diabetic disorder in 2006, and that disorder led to chronic kidney disease, later forcing Mangold to undergo dialysis while waiting for a kidney transplant. Mangold had a huge 11-year NFL career entirely with the Jets. He was a seven-time Pro Bowler, was considered for Pro Football's Hall of Fame induction. He lived in Madison, coached football in Del Barton School in Morristown. May he rest in peace. 724, a Franklin Township police sergeant facing charges of official misconduct and falsifying public records. Investigators say back on August 1st, Kevin Bellaro received a 911 call of gunshots and screams in Pittsdown. But the sergeant allegedly, instead of going, he drove in the opposite direction, 2 miles to an ATM and then to a nearby pizzeria and hung out there for an hour, according to investigators. GPS data and surveillance footage show that Bellaro did not visit the reported locations of the 911 callers. He later submitted a report saying that he did, that he canvassed the area and saw nothing. Prosecutors say that was false. The following day, the bodies of 33-year-old Lawrence Semanchik and 29-year-old Tyler Webb were discovered in a nearby home. The question is, had he gone, could he have saved their lives or prevented the tragedy from happening? Lieutenant Ricardo Santos of the New Jersey State Police was identified as the person who shot before taking his own life. Bellaro faces charges of official misconduct and falsifying public records. The Rutgers chapter of the fraternity Alpha Sigma Phi was shut down after a 19-year-old student was hospitalized in an off-campus incident. The chapter, no longer recognized as a student organization at Rutgers and may not cooperate on campus. The fraternity's international president and CEO, Gordy Heminger, said that hazing did occur and those involved will be expelled. The group is cooperating with law enforcement. The Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office is investigating but will not comment. The frat house has now been condemned. It can't be used by human beings. 726, the pizzeria The Dough Father in Monroe Township received a cease and desist letter from Paramount Pictures claiming that its logo, you see it on that's a cute logo, though, you got to admit. The logo you see on the screen closely resembles the 1972 film The Godfather, which clearly it does. That was the implication. Owner Max D'Amico acknowledged the legal notice. You don't want to get a legal notice like that in the mail, though he initially thought it was just a prank. He has agreed the logo will go, but he'll keep the name. The disputed logo included a silhouette styled after the Vito Corleone figure and puppet string design, along with the slogan, "Pizza you can't refuse. Go figure. Hey, you have a slice and maybe you never come back." I got to go down and just check it out. That sounds like a great restaurant. The Dough Father. 727, we have a temperature of 42 degrees. When we come back, everybody is always in such a darn rush to get to their travel destination, rushing to the airport, catching the most direct flight from A to B, rushing to the resort, and on and on. Why not slow it down a bit and travel by train? Eric, the travel guy Hastings, will show you how. Phone lines open. We'll take calls at 888-658-0234. Sun and clouds today, a little windy, highs upper 50s, a full Garden State forecast with meteorologist Mike Favetta in just a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. We're seen on 20 darn different platforms, so no excuse about how to find us. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
Very good morning to you. It is 41 degrees in northern New Jersey, 41 in Trenton, 44 down in Cape May. It is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025, 7:30 in the morning. As we say in Italian, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings. Just seeing if you're paying attention. Alle 7:30. 7:30. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy, highs in the upper 50s. A guy who did live in Italy, and he knows how to say it. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with the detailed Garden State forecast. Alle 7:30, Michele. Good
Nobody's up
morning.
that early. Nobody's up that early. You go to work
They
and you
get
have your morning cappuccino at like 11:30. I mean,
right.
it's a
They're like,
very,
Luigi, you were supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. That's
very
11:30.
different
That's
culture.
Italy.
How did you know that was my colleague's name? Unbelievable. You took a wild
I
guess,
read
and
your
yet
mind. I read your mind.
and yet here we are. Well, if you're up early this morning, it's all about the extra layers with the weather that you'll need to bundle up for. Even if you find yourself down the shore this morning, waking up along the coast there in Avalon and Ocean City, we start off really chilly. Temperatures hold now in the 40s, but will eventually climb into the upper 50s. And yes, there is the threat of a shower this afternoon only for the shore points. If you find yourself south and east of the Atlantic City Expressway, you could run into a rogue shower this afternoon. Our high today, 59. Our average high is 62. So we're actually a few degrees cooler than where we should be. And look at that rain that's just offshore, allowing those clouds to form just south of the AC Expressway, giving us those gusty winds as well. Today, the winds start off breezy. It's 31-mile-per-hour gusts right now along the shore points. But again, down in the Caribbean, the fourth time we've had a Category 5 hurricane in 1 year, tying the record set back in 2005, the only other year that there have been 4 Category 5 storms in a hurricane season. 175-mile-per-hour winds. That's right now. Storm hasn't made landfall yet. That happens later on today. And when it does, it'll deliver those very high gusts. Those are max and sustained winds. There could be gusts higher than that within the storm as that storm rages there across the Caribbean. So a big problem there. And like Ken was saying, 2 to 3 feet of rain and storm surge with the ocean waves that are, in the dozens of feet. So very, very large system. Our forecast here for New Jersey points to a little bit of that cloud cover creeping through the southern part of the state today. And then by tomorrow morning, everybody taps into a little bit of gray sky. It could be a spotty sprinkle around. It's just generally a gray, cloudy day tomorrow with a much cooler feel in the 50s. And then the rain gets going statewide by Wednesday morning. That shower activity turns into some heavier rain. Look at this map. It is bright and pretty wet throughout the day on Thursday. Now, some of these could be some embedded downpours by Thursday afternoon with the thunder and lightning. That could put anywhere from maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain across some parts of New Jersey. So very wet weather as the whole system moves in. Now, throughout the day on Thursday, we have the wet weather taking over. There it goes as the storm pushes on through. It clears out for Friday, but the problem is with Friday's weather, there'll be wind gusts upwards of 45 or 50 miles per hour out of the west. So yeah, it dries us out, but those kids, they're going to be knocked over with that wind trick-or-treating by the afternoon on Friday. So it turns very gusty later in the day, even though the picture looks pretty nice, a mix of clouds and sun. Saturday is also dry with those breezes turning lighter. And then Sunday, mostly cloudy, but overall a dry finish to the weekend. Maybe some rain again on Monday. I think, again, the bigger picture here shows most of that wet weather happening beginning today, lasting through tomorrow and Thursday, with the worst of the rain down the shore, but even you clear out by Friday. So no matter your location, you're going to get wet by the end of this week, but at least it clears out, Ken, just in time for the weekend.
Yeah, and that Sunday weather for the TCS New York City Marathon looks great. Again, for those who want to tune in, I'll be on 710 WOR radio in New York, and you could stream the audio, or if you go to my internet stuff, my interweb stuff, I'll be on Instagram Live and Facebook Live and X, going back and forth with all the different platforms, and we'll be streaming from mile marker 20, and I'll be interviewing people both on radio and online. So it's going to be fun. We'll have a good time. But thank you for the nice forecast, sir. We appreciate that. I have a
Pleasure.
meeting today. I'll say it's all because of you are getting nice weather. Of course, I won't tell you if it's bad weather and what they say behind your back. I won't tell you that, though.
No.
All right. Mike, thank you, sir. 7:35 right now. Our temperature is 40 degrees in northern New Jersey. It's 41 in Trenton right now. And in terms of traffic, we have a whole lot of stuff happening. Let's go to the Garden State Parkway first. This is a crash southbound at exit 131 Wood Avenue in Woodbridge Township. All lanes and both shoulders are open, though, so you can see them flowing on the right side. But you can see the arrows, the flashing arrows now. And that's kind of getting people nudged over. Once they get around that bend, that's where things start to get hairy. So we have multiple things happening within a short span on the Garden State. There's also a disabled vehicle on the Garden State northbound, north of exit 143C, which is Route 124 in Irvington, with the left lane blocked. We have back to that same area we were at before. Very close to it. There's a crash on the Garden State southbound, north of exit 132, Route 27, Woodbridge. And what you're looking at this is exit 90. So what's happening here on the Garden State Parkway? A disabled vehicle on the GSP southbound, just north of exit 90, Chambers Bridge Road in Brick. Right lane is blocked, and that's causing what you see on your screen there with the taillights. So the Garden State's just a mess up and down right now. On I-78, local lanes eastbound west of exit 56, Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. 2 right lanes are closed there. Turnpike, we have a crash. That is at the ramp, entrance ramp and interchange 9, Route 18, East Brunswick. All lanes and the left shoulder blocked. And we have a crash investigation, Route 29 southbound from Sullivan Way to south of US 1 in Trenton, with all lanes closed. Really hairy morning when it comes to travel. And there are 10 more we don't even have time to get into this break. We'll hit it at the next. In terms of the Hudson River crossings, 25 now at the Lincoln. It's 20 at the Holland. GWB upper and lower calling it 35 to 40. You can see the lower on the left a little bit better than the upper on the right. 7:37 is our time now, and everybody is always in such a darn rush to get to their travel destination. It's quick, cheap, right? Cheapest airline, point to point. They rush to the airport, catch the most direct flight from A to B, rush to the resort, and on and on. Why? Why not slow it down a bit? Enjoy your vacation. Have a little travel by train. Eric, the travel guy Hastings of ericthetravelguide.com. That's Eric with a K, and host of the PBS and YouTube travel series Beyond Your Backyard, joins us now. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you, sir. And we may not have the Orient Express here, but we do have Amtrak, and they've tried to step it up a bit. And traveling the U.S. by train, as opposed to just flying on a low-cost airline, sounds like a lot of fun if you have family and you want to reconnect and face each other and talk, as opposed to being seated at different parts of a plane. This sounds like a different way to do it.
Well, it absolutely is a different way to do it, and you're right. That's how they hook you into it. That's how they get you, Ken. They get you to say, you got to slow down. But Amtrak might be too slow for some people, and that's okay. But you're correct. It is a different type of vacation. And since we've never talked about it really that much on this program together, I thought today would be a good day to say, listen, there's a couple of things you should be aware of as you begin to look into your upcoming train adventure, and some very basic things to remember. Remember, Amtrak doesn't own most of the track that it travels on. Did you know that, Ken? I know you did, but a lot of your viewers might not know that. They don't. Those tracks are owned by rail. So the freight companies own the track, and they lease it, or lease the space, or lease the time to Amtrak, which is why you will find the longer the journey on Amtrak, sometimes the delays can be quite long. And that's okay, because again, it's all a matter of how you view these things. So that's number one. Number two, the most traveled train track in the United States is on the Northeast Corridor. A lot of your viewers already know this. That goes from Boston all the way down to Washington, D.C. That's where you'll find the Acela, which can travel up to 150 miles an hour. That's where you'll find that. So there are some options there. Now, I do have a couple of options that I wanted to run past you today, just to kind of get you in the mood. Because again, pricing on a train is per person, just like an airline. But what you may not know is for those longer routes, you'll find different types of accommodations. You can buy a seat, or you can purchase a seat on a particular passage, or you can get what's called a roomette or a bedroom. So there are options depending upon what train line you're on and how long you're going for. Now, there's one that I would recommend for you if you've not done a train trip before. There's one from New York City, stopping, of course, in Newark Penn Station, and going up to Montreal. That's a great trip through the Adirondack Mountains. It's a fun trip. It's an easy trip to take. It's a good starter trip, because once you're in Montreal, then you could get on Via Rail, which is Canada's rail service, or you could get on Rocky Mountaineer Vacations, which is also another train option in Canada. Now that brings us to our second option. Are you writing this down, Ken, or am I just, I'm just asking?
Look.
Half my lights are out over here. It's a mess. I don't know. I'm surprised I'm even here, quite frankly. And I'm not wearing any pants, but I'm wearing my swim trunks this morning. Second that I would suggest for you, Ken, is to do a Rocky Mountaineer vacation that starts in Vancouver and goes over to Banff. And that's a really awesome trip to take. I don't know if you've done that one before, but that is a lot of fun. That's a crowd pleaser. Now, my final suggestion for you this morning, in almost one breath, is from Chicago to San Francisco on the California Zephyr. That's on Amtrak. It's a 2.5-day journey. I would suggest you absolutely get a bedroom so that you can sleep as opposed to sleeping in your seat. And it is a truly spectacular trip through the Rocky Mountains, the Sierra Nevada mountains, the prairie lands, and of course you end up in San Francisco. And I do think too, Ken, you asked me earlier about this, if you're going to take a train trip, I always would tack on something. Think about what kind of a trip that would be if you started in Chicago, spent an overnight in Chicago and did Chicago things, hopped on your train in the afternoon at Union Station, and then when you arrived in San Francisco, doing a day or two in San Francisco. That is one of those memorable, once-in-a-lifetime type journeys.
Especially if the point is not just getting to the place and jumping in a pool and ignoring the people you're with. If you want to reconnect with your family and talk, this is a smart way to do it. So we are wrapping it up here. We're out of time. Just so that you know, Eric, we're on hard breaks now. I should have let you know that, but you're right. You're right on time. You took us right to the edge here. And just so you know, for for those who don't realize, the tunnel you're talking about is the Gateway Tunnel project we've been talking about. That's the one that Trump threatened now to cancel. That's what connects the Northeast Corridor. So we hope that gets rebuilt with 2 new tracks, or else we could have a problem with Amtrak and all the trains. So we keep our fingers crossed. Eric the Travel Guy Hastings of ericthetravelguy.com. Eric with a K, and host of the PBS and YouTube travel series Beyond Your Backyard, owner of the Orlando Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, the Speakeasy Murder and Other Acts of Prohibition. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Thank you, Ken. Hard break, Rosato.
You are the best. Thank you. It is now 43 degrees. It's 7:43. We are coming back in just a moment. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away. We'll be talking about what it takes to renovate the White House.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Bergen Equestrian in Leonia is the top destination for horse riding, lessons, and exceptional horse boarding facilities on over 23 acres in Overpeck Park. Bergen Equestrian has programs for people of all ages and skill sets, indoor and outdoor riding areas, and a riding lounge. Riders can compete in horse shows and special events. Bergen Equestrian offers horse boarding and rentals, seasonal kids camps, and more. Consider Bergen Equestrian for unforgettable memories with kids' birthday parties, private events, weddings, and school trips. Visit bergenequestrian.com.
Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 7:45, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Don't be shy. Call in. It's free. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy. Highs in the upper 50s. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ken. A little bit of a chill this morning, but dry weather today. If you find yourself in the northern or central part of the state, and a little bit of rain developing down south at the coast by this afternoon. But lots of sun to start our day from Hackensack to Newark and Jersey City, as temperatures chilly right now in the 20s in West Milford and Sussex, but warming into the mid and upper 50s today. Notice the mostly sunny skies right now. Well, that transitions to cloudy skies by this afternoon with a very gray scene by the end of the day. We'll take you a little further out in time to the first week of November, and we're anticipating to be cooler than average here across the East Coast. A big heat wave setting up in the west, and it'll also be rather dry there, but our chances of rain go up, specifically with the big rain chances on Thursday, with those 2 to maybe as much as 5 inches of rain in some parts of the state by the end of the day on Thursday. Our forecast points to potentially even some thunderstorms. It's going to be pouring throughout Thursday afternoon, but all clearing out by Friday, just in time for Halloween. Very gusty winds, though, on Friday afternoon. That's really the only issue for the trick-or-treating, but still, temperatures will remain in the upper 50s, and skies will stay clear on Friday. Saturday, a little breezy still in the morning, but clearing with calm winds by Sunday. Lovely weather all around, Ken, with great weather this weekend. Just have to make it through the wet weather over the next few days.
All right. Very good, sir. Thank you very much. We have 43 degrees now in northern New Jersey and 41 in Trenton. Take a look at this. It's a more local approach road. It looks like black and white on my camera, my monitor, but we'll tell you, yeah, it is black and white, isn't it? But it gives you an idea. Look there at the left or the right to left motion. That is Route 23. Unanticipated construction delay, they're calling this. So that must mean there was like a pothole or something opened up or yeah, that's where our director says she knows that road very well. Let's put it that way. So this is Route 23 northbound, north of I-287 in Riverdale to north of Route 511 Boonton Avenue in Butler. Boonton. The 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes are closed, and that is causing that bumper-to-bumper mess you see there from right to left, that motion. Everybody's getting down to 1 lane because of the unanticipated construction. We have a crash on I-78 eastbound, east of exit 24, Route 523, Oldwick Road in Tewksbury Township. All lanes are currently open there. And we have a disabled vehicle on the Garden State Parkway northbound, north of exit 143C, which is Route 124. And that is located in, let's see, the 124 area. That is in Irvington Township, excuse me. We have something else in Tewksbury. We have a crash now on the Garden State southbound, north of exit 132, Route 27 Woodbridge. And we have a crash on the Garden State southbound by exit 131. So that's the one I'm talking about right now. You see the lanes on the right. That is by Wood Avenue, south in Woodbridge Township. The lanes are all open, but as they go around, you can see the construction signs on the right. And then as they come around that bend there, that's where they have their issues. We have a crash also on the New Jersey Turnpike, and that is southbound by the entrance ramp at interchange. Let's see, the interchange 9, Route 18 in East Brunswick. All lanes in the left shoulder are blocked, and a crash investigation on Route 29 southbound. And that is, look, it's all being updated as I talk, folks. Excuse the pauses. Okay, let's see if we can get that up. Route 29 southbound from 579 Sullivan Way to south of US 1 in Trenton, all lanes are closed. When you have this much of volume of traffic, what ends up happening is I mean, the folks at the traffic center, they're working very hard and they're literally updating it in real time. So that's why the screen is constantly popping and changing, and we're trying to keep up. But there are about a dozen more accidents. That's likely because it's sunrise. We talk about this all the time. When the sun first comes up over the tree line, you get that bright sun in your face. People are putting on lipstick. The guys are like drinking their coffee, putting on the sports radio, and they're not paying attention to the car hitting the brake in front of them because of the sun in their eyes. And that's when we get all the accidents. So we got about 2 dozen accidents that just popped up in the last few minutes. Crash on 280 right now in both directions, east of exit 15, Route 21 in Newark. All lanes open eastbound. The left lane is closed westbound. Hudson River crossings. Right now, the Holland is your best bet at 20 minutes, 25 of the Lincoln. GWB upper and lower, pretty heavy. Now you got a different aspect here that's showing us. The right side is the lower level. That's a little bit better. And you can see the upper level on the left is absolutely dead stopped. Not a good thing. 7:50 is our time. President Trump is in Asia and a very successful Asia trip. He was in Tokyo yesterday where he signed a rare earth mineral deal that gives the U.S. a huge advantage, a big amount of leverage against China. China thought they kind of had us by the knows because they are the biggest supplier of rare earth minerals that are processed in the world. So everybody in the world has rare earth minerals, but China processes like 80 to 90% of them into usable material. Well, Japan can do it too. So Japan is now going to be doing that for us so that China doesn't have that as something they could hold over our head now with trade deals. This was the second day of his Asia tour as he looks to cement trade deals in his week-long trip. You know what? The guy wrote the art of the deal. He's a multi-billionaire. These guys are in communist countries in China. They don't understand capitalism like we do. We play ball differently. Don't try to screw Trump. He will screw you back 10 times harder. Today, Trump's going to meet with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. He's also expected to deliver remarks aboard the USS George Washington at Yokosuka Naval Base in Japan, and he'll attend a business leadership reception this evening. It's afternoon in Japan right now. So this evening is a few hours from right now. The president hopes to further trade ties in several critical areas. Over the summer, both Japan and the United States struck a deal that includes the U.S. charging 15% tariffs on Japanese goods, which is lower than the initial 25% threatened by President Trump, in exchange for Japan pledging to invest billions in U.S. industry. South Korea is the next and final stop on the president's trip. He may go to North Korea. We're keeping our fingers crossed. The way you communicate with Kim Jong-un in North Korea is literally on X. Believe it or not, Trump puts out an X comment. They don't have direct phone lines. You could either do it that way or through China. Those are the only ways to communicate with him. So Trump puts out a comment on X and says, listen, I'm going to be over there. If you want, I could come visit, wink, wink. Then it's up to Kim Jong-un to respond on X. And so far, that hasn't happened. He might be playing a little hardball. Something tells me that while the president is there, Kim will meet with President Trump. Do not be surprised if it happens today or tonight. I think it's going to happen. Just gut. He started this trip in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and that was marked by trade frameworks between the U.S. and Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. And he brokered a peace deal between Cambodia and Thailand. They were on the brink of something really bad. And now he says the two prime ministers consider themselves friends. In fact, some members of very leftist media said, oh, Trump had nothing to do with it. Yeah. And then out came the prime ministers of the two countries. And they said, oh, actually, no, he did. He had everything to do with it. We were about to launch launch missiles at each other. So, yes, President Trump got the boys in the room, sat them down, and probably said something like, we give your country $1 billion in aid every year. You keep this fighting thing, you're getting nothing. You know how we give you guys an aid package of 250 million. It's going to be terrible if I just tear it up. I mean, seriously, that's how it happens. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's friends. They signed a peace deal, and that avoided war, which could have killed thousands, if not more, human beings. And that's the key. Who gives a damn about the money? It could have killed thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of human beings who would just be casualties in the way of big people with big money who are playing games. So a lot of people are alive today because whether you like Orange Man Bad or not, Orange Man Bad went over and sat down with the folks over in Thailand and Cambodia. They set a little peace deal, and that's a good thing. 7:54, thousands of voters gathered at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens on Sunday for the New York is Not for Sale rally in support of the Democrat candidate for New York City Mayor, Zohran Mamdani. He's the self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist, and he's 34, and he is by far the front runner. He's still in every poll ahead. He's right now at least 9 points ahead of Andrew Cuomo, and that's with Adams' endorsement of Cuomo and dropping out of the race. And this looks like it's a fait accompli. That doesn't mean you shouldn't vote. Surprises happen, but it looks like that's going to be the mayor of New York, not the woman on your screen, but Zohran Mamdani, flanked by Ocasio-Cortez, whom you see on your screen, and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. The trio rallied that huge crowd on the first weekend of early voting in the city. A slew of state and local leaders also joined the rally, including Governor Kathy Hochul, who, by the way, was heckled. It's funny that she's a hardcore leftist liberal Democrat, but to those people, they put her in the same pot as Trump. They don't consider her liberal enough. So they were saying tax the rich, jail the rich. That's what they were shouting at Kathy Hochul, as if she's a conservative, which she ain't by any stretch. Kathy Hochul endorsed Mamdani last month and has since been campaigning for him. Although after this, I don't know if she's going to be on the road again with him. But the conservatives in America are keeping a good eye on this. It is becoming obvious that America is becoming a two-tiered system of urban centers that are very, very far to the left, like Portland, New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, and very far to the right, which is everywhere other than that. So in terms of, if you look at the county by county breakdown throughout the United States, it's overwhelmingly red Republican. But if you look at every urban center, the cities, it's overwhelmingly blue Democrat. If, God forbid, we ever ended up in I won't say the W word, but if we ever ended up in a civil battle, if you will, it'll be between the cities and the suburbs. It's not going to be north and south like it was, sadly, at that one dark moment in our history. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture says the federal food aid will not go out November 1st amid the ongoing government shutdown. The administration said that under the law, it could not tap $5 billion in contingency funds, although that's debatable, to continue the payments into November. SNAP feeds or helps to feed 1 in 8 Americans, a number that increased by 5 million during the Biden administration at the urging of President Biden. The thing is, it's supposed to help you. It's supposed to be a supplement. It's not supposed to be how you eat. It's supposed to be, I have enough money to buy the basics and SNAP will help me get fresh produce for the kids. But unfortunately, too many people have now relied on it as their only source of food. Some states say that they may try to keep the benefits flowing independently, but the USDA says they would not be reimbursed if that happens. So we hope, look, nobody wants to see anybody go hungry, but the reality is what it is. The Democrats start voting with the Republicans this one time. When we come back, we're highlighting a local organization that is helping students connect with nature, healthy food, and hands-on learning. Plus, we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy with highs in the upper 50s. The full Garden State forecast in a moment. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings here at ONNJ.com and all coming right back.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Bergen Equestrian in Leonia is the top destination for horse riding, lessons, and exceptional horse boarding facilities on over 23 acres in Overpeck Park. Bergen Equestrian has programs for people of all ages and skill sets, indoor and outdoor riding areas, and a riding lounge. Riders can compete in horse shows and special events. Bergen Equestrian offers horse boarding and rentals, seasonal kids camps, and more. Consider Bergen Equestrian for unforgettable memories with kids' birthday parties, private events, weddings, and school trips. Visit bergenequestrian.com.
Hello there. Good morning. It's 8 a.m. Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. Just looking down, I look up and there you are. Nice to see you. We're going to take your calls at 888-658-0234. My director, Pam's like, what do you mean you just looked up? I've been giving you a countdown. What's wrong with you? Sorry, Pam. We'll take your call. So please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy with highs in the upper 50s. We head to meteorologist Mike Favetta with a check of the Garden State forecast. Mike, I've had an IFB here in my ear for so many years now. It's been about 40 years that when people talk, I just hear voices in my head 24 hours a day. I don't know about you. Sounds like a problem.
Well, that explains a lot. That explains a lot, Ken.
I hear voices. You know what I say? The day I'm on my actual deathbed and I start hearing voices, I'm going to think I'm just being cued to go on the air. Meanwhile, it'll be Jesus saying, hey, and me with the beard, come over here.
Jesus in an IFB. That is a real sight to see.
If Jesus says, hey, me in the beard, I'm going to say, oh, it's Favetta. Favetta's that guy. You're Jesus is Mike Favetta. I'm sorry. Please continue. Forgive me. I'll shut up.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? We're going to start off with some amazing weather today. How about that? Because, with weather that begins on a cool and crisp note here across New Jersey, it'll start to warm up a little bit into the upper 50s, but eventually turn cloudy by day's end. So with our 46-degree start in Atlantic City, contrasted by the 30 degrees over on the Green in Morristown, still a little bit milder than yesterday by about 2 or 3 degrees, but still there's plenty of cloud cover around, especially this morning south of the Atlantic City Expressway and even south of 195 as this cloud shield kind of works its way northward through the course of the day today. 32-mile-per-hour winds right now in Cape May, 26-mile-per-hour winds in Toms River, but those winds, well, yes, they are creating a little bit of a wind chill, making it feel like the 30s even in Newark and the 40s in Atlantic City. There will be more winds throughout the day with those gusts that could go as high as 40 miles per hour down the shore later on this afternoon. And those winds eventually move in to blow from the east throughout the overnight into tomorrow. And when they switch direction, really see that wave action at the shoreline. LBI, 40-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow morning into Thursday morning. And of course, when the front finally pushes through and the whole storm moves on by, we get the wind shift by later Thursday night. So a lot of wind, a lot of rain coming, most of that rain falling throughout the afternoon on Thursday. So while there's a few spotty sprinkles around this evening at the shore, tomorrow, widespread spotty light drizzle, not a whole lot of rain to speak of. It's Thursday morning, the heavier rain gets going, but the brunt of it, you see it right there, falls throughout Thursday afternoon statewide. Heavy downpours, maybe even some thunder and lightning with this system as it delivers a big punch of that rainfall. 2 to 4 inches of rain is likely. Look what happens here, even throughout the overnight into early Thursday morning. Not much, maybe just a little bit of a drizzle, amounting to less than a half inch in the rain bucket. But once we get to Thursday afternoon, look what happens to this map. We go from next to nothing to this wide stripe of yellow, and that 2 to 4 inches that could fall is a large area with that heavy rain that falls right between, say, the hours of 3 p.m. on Thursday until about 9 p.m. on Thursday. So it's all wrapped up by Friday morning. We start our day on Friday breezy, but a little bit cooler with temperatures in the 40s, and they'll stay in the upper 40s and low 50s most of Friday afternoon with the winds clearing out some of those clouds. Ultimately going to be a breezy afternoon and then clearing for Friday evening, but the trick-or-treating weather, while dry, is windy. Take note as the cooler weather takes over. All that rain wraps up on Thursday. Friday is dry. That leads into a dry weekend with less wind by Sunday. We'll tell you all about that, Ken, with the weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Less wind, tastes great. Less wind, tastes great. You have to know the The old Bud Light commercial to know. It is Bud Light. Yes, it is. Or is it light beer from Miller? I always get confused.
I thought it was
Nonetheless. All right.
Pepsi. It wasn't Pepsi?
No. No, remember it was
Oh.
less filling. Tastes great. That was I think, oh
Oh,
my
less filling,
gosh.
yes.
I'm
We'll get
I'm
there.
old, officially old. All right, sir. Thank you for Pam chimes in. I like Pepsi. All right. Now we're hoping that they send us a case. Mike, thank you very much. We'll check back with you in a little bit. It is 41 degrees northern New Jersey, 41 in Trenton, and it's 41 in Cape May. We got 41 up and down the state right now. It's a chilly little light wind. So wear a little jacket. You're gonna need it. This is that time of the year, or else like your grandma says, you gotta get a cold. Put something on your shoulders. We take a look at I-80. We have a crash on I-80 eastbound, east of exit 30, Howard Boulevard in Mount Arlington. The left lane of 3 lanes closed. You can see the slowdown right there. This is about a half a mile before that accident scene. So you can definitely see how it's being impacted there on the roadways. We have a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound by the Union Toll Plaza in Hillside Township with 2 right lanes blocked. And a disabled vehicle now on 495 eastbound by the exit ramp east of the New Jersey Turnpike, North Bergen. That's where there's the merge to get over to the Turnpike or stay on 495, like right after the Route 3 merge. So right now we have the left lane blocked. That's causing an absolute mess. That's going to back up right to Route 3 very quickly. Let's see, we have unanticipated construction. We showed you a little while ago. Route 23 northbound, just north of 287. And that's going to be there for quite a while. So just anticipate that. It is moving, but it's very slow. And we have a crash, excuse me, a crash now reported. Of course, it's not popping up on my screen here. We have a crash on the Garden State Parkway southbound, exit 131, Wood Avenue South and Woodbridge. All lanes and both shoulders are open, but it's causing a bit of a slowdown. And then the Hudson River crossings are a bit of a mess, too. The Lincoln and Holland are both moving, but now Lincoln is reporting 35 minutes through. The Holland Tunnel is 25. GWB upper and lower levels, slow but moving. Better than it was, by the way, much better than it was. You can see that truck broken down in the, in fact, yeah, I got the hood popped. So that's broken down in the shoulder. So all those dummies, yes, I'll say it, the dummies who try to sneak by in that lane, the truck is blocking your butt. So stay in the legal lane and do not try to sneak by everybody else and get the sneers and the curses from people. The upper level on the right, lower on the left, you're talking 35 minutes into Manhattan on the GWB approach. 8:07 is our time now to focus on community impact and education here in New Jersey this morning. We're highlighting a local organization that is helping students to connect with nature, healthy food, and hands-on learning. The Greater Newark Conservancy has been a force for good across the city, running community gardens, youth programs, and environmental workshops that bring the lessons of sustainability right into the classroom. So we take on right now our good friend here, Patrick Evans. He's from the Greater Newark Conservancy. He's going to talk about how their farm to school program helps young people grow both literally and figuratively. And Patrick, it's good to have you on, especially what you do when you got kids in the inner city who don't get to see much field and garden and farm and the beautiful green like you have behind you there. It's beautiful that they get to experience that with you. So welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me on today.
You bet. And for those who aren't familiar, start by giving us a sense of what the Greater Newark Conservancy is about, what you do, and how important that role is in the community.
Yes, of course. So, Great Newark Conservancy is a Newark-based nonprofit dedicated to enhancing the well-being of Newark communities through nutrition-focused activities and wellness programs. And we do that through the lens of food and gardening. We have a handful of amazing departments doing a lot of great work, including the Healthy Food for in Newark Schools Coalition, all about giving students a voice for the food that they eat in their cafeteria. And that's led by Chisa Hodge. We have our facilities team here, who are the stewards of our Shipley Urban Environmental Center, who take care of our outdoor spaces here for all the field trips and visitors to come enjoy. We have our urban ag department. They're all about community greening, food production. They work out the Branchbrook greenhouse. They host farmers markets through the growing season, giving people affordable produce all year long, which is amazing. And then we have our education department that I'm a part of, led by Sarah O'Leary, and we have Carla Zuber as well, who takes on the field trips. And we do a lot of great work within the education department as well, including hosting field trips to our outdoor learning center, so kids could enjoy the beautiful outdoor spaces that we have here through very intense hands-on activities. large part of my role is our farm to school program. So I have an amazing team of 5 food court educators who are garden and nutrition educators, teaching over 1,000 students in weekly lessons about gardening nutrition, getting their hands dirty, doing all types of taste tests, introducing them to new foods that they've never tried before. And it's just really amazing experience. We're giving kids the experience that they may not have otherwise and allowing them to taste things that they didn't even know existed.
And that's so essential. I remember as a kid, I used to look at vegetables on a plate and go, ew. And I remember my grandfather loved to garden. And I remember the first time he took me out and showed me how to garden. Now, everything that I saw magically pop up on a vine or something, I wanted to taste. And I now have a love of vegetables. But doing what you're doing, you're absolutely right. When they see that they took part or they touched it when it was alive and on the vine or whatever, and now they could taste it, then a kid's curiosity is piqued. When they see it on a plate steamed, they go, right? That's when kids aren't interested. So this is so essential. Just bringing the kids back to the reality of nature and letting them know that something exists outside of the concrete and the steel of a city is such a beautiful experience. And who knows what that could lead to for so many of these kids, right? How long have you guys been around? How many years?
So we've been around since 1987, so a very long time. We've been at this location at 32 Prince Street for about 15 to 20 years, but we've been doing this work for a while. And I've been with the Conservancy for about 5 years now. And it's been just my passion since day one. And like you mentioned, like when I was younger, I wasn't trying vegetables too much. I didn't even grow my first plant to 2020. And that was a basil plant that I turned into pesto. And that's that same experience that I got with growing something and then eating it is the same thing that we're able to do with thousands of students across Newark. And we see the faces of them, the smiles, how much they love it. And they want seconds, thirds, fourths sometimes for some of the taste tests we bring in. It's amazing to be part of that experience and to, do it with them.
That is amazing. And yeah, basil is so easy to grow, and that's the perfect first plant. That was my first plant. I literally always keep a living basil plant on my counter, and every day make sure it's watered. That's my little baby. Here's the funniest part. You'll love this, Patrick. Even though I have the plant there, every time I need basil, I go and buy it. I don't want to pick it from my own plant because I love it too much. It's like my little, right? It's my little baby. What's a website, Patrick, for more information?
Yes, so for more information about our programs, our events, everything we have going on, we could go to greaternewark.org. We got a new website, new logo, new everything. So please check us out. We have events all year long. We host family programs on the weekends. There's a lot going on at the Conservancy. So please, if you haven't heard us before or visit us in person, we are here open all year long for y'all.
You're good people doing a good thing. God bless you all. Patrick Evans with the Greater Newark Conservancy. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You bet. What a great thing. I love that they're doing that with the kids. It is 41 degrees now at 8:12. And when we come back, too many American veterans fall into a deep depression when they try to re-enter civilian life. What needs to be done to help them heal? Sun and clouds today, a little windy, highs upper 50s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with a full Garden State forecast. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. We're back in 2.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
And welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:15, and we will take your calls. 888-658-0234. Sun and some clouds today, a little windy, highs upper 50s. Very fall-like. Right to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast. Mike, I meant to ask you before, the system that's coming our way Thursday
Mhm.
night, Thursday afternoon into Friday, is that a remnant from the hurricane? Is that making its way up, or is that just independent, just a front?
It's independent of Melissa. However, Melissa will be several hundred miles out to sea, so the two will be
Oh.
interacting. They'll actually be sharing some of that energy. But no, not a direct result of Melissa. It's just a really powerful system that'll be delivering, the high winds, the gusty winds, and of course the rainfall that we need here. But to get 2 to 4 inches of rain in a matter of just a few hours, not the best thing, especially when a lot of leaves tend to be clogging the gutters just as a result of those leaves falling right away from those high winds. Take a look at the frost that's happening this morning. All the counties shaded in purple, right down to, and not including Cape May, has some frost this morning, some freezes up across the New York State border. So plenty of that cold air that's in place this morning. And with it, some clouds developing with the system getting going for Thursday, already seeing the impacts 2 days early with some clouds that'll be developing throughout this afternoon across central and southern New Jersey. So while we start sunny now, we eventually warm into the mid and upper 50s. And with that, you can see all of that rain, kind of the line here, going across the Northeast, not crossing that line because the high pressure is doing its job and keeping us clear for today. Not the case going into tomorrow as the clouds take over. So there's the latest view of the storm. You can already see as the sun rises and some of the visible satellite shows up, those last few frames there show these are called gravity waves. They look like spokes in a wheel, and that just shows the intensity. They only form on the strongest of hurricanes, and this being the fourth Category 5 storm this year, tying the record from 2005, the only other hurricane season to have four named Category 5 storms in a single year. Impressive how fast that storm developed, and we'll give you the track coming up with its current speeds in just a bit. As far as this afternoon, we are dry, but you have to wait again until Tuesday for another chance of some rain once we get beyond this week's rain on Thursday. And then going into next week, it's just going to be a mix of clouds and sun with that below average weather that'll keep us cool into the end of next week. So the first week of November, faring rather chilly. We start the first weekend in November with that cool air. More clouds, I think, by Sunday, but overall a dry weekend overall with less wind. We'll take that. It'll be a little bit breezy with the remnants on Saturday morning, but by Sunday, I think calm breezes all around and a few clouds around. Great weather for if you're not one of the 54,000 people running through the five boroughs this weekend, you could at least cheer them on because great weather to spectate across the five boroughs.
Yeah, I'm one of these guys. Hey, keep moving, guy. Yeah, no, harder, push harder. Yeah, give me
Yeah,
a
with the
donut.
hot
Yeah,
chocolates,
push harder.
exactly.
Exactly. That's me. I'll be doing that. I'll be on 710 WOR radio Sunday again. We'll be on from the start of the race to the end. So you can tune in on
Yep.
WOR and check the social media. We'll have everything up there. So definitely. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you as always, sir. 47 chilly degrees, northern New Jersey. Trenton is 40, lagging behind a little bit. I guess we have a little more sun than them right now. And it's 41 degrees down at Cape May. In terms of traffic, check this out on, we have this on the Garden State Parkway right now. We have a disabled vehicle. This is on the GSP northbound, north of exit 143C, Route 124 in Irvington with the left lane blocked, as you can see. Appreciate the camera shot from the traffic guys. That's a very good shot. Hopefully you could see they're working on it. That'll be cleared up very soon. We wanted to show that first. Over to I-80, we still have an issue now, a crash that is eastbound, east of exit 30, Howard Boulevard. That's located in Mount Arlington. The left lane of the 3 lanes closed. Oh, they may have even picked that up. That looks a lot better than it did just a minute ago. So they may have just picked that up. We'll check that. Let's see, we have a crash investigation, Route 29 southbound from Sullivan Way to south of US 1 in Trenton. All lanes are closed on that. We go back up now. This is unanticipated construction on Route 23 northbound from north of 287 in Riverdale to north of Boonton Avenue in Butler. 2 right lanes of the 3 lanes closed, and you can see that's in the lower left of your screen and the immediate right. So the lane in the middle is blocking it, but that's causing that delay. Back to the Garden State, we have a crash, GSP southbound, south of exit 131, Wood Avenue, South Woodbridge Township. The right shoulder is blocked, and we have a down pole now on 208 northbound, south of High Mountain Road in Franklin Lakes, with all lanes closed through there. That's not good. Water main break, too, on Route 53 southbound, Route 46 Denville, all lanes closed there. Got a lot going on today. Hudson River crossings now 35 of the Lincoln, 30 at the Holland. Take a look at the GWB upper and lower levels, a little better than they were. See that truck zooming by there on the left side. The lower level is moving just a hair better than the upper, lower on the left, upper rather on the right. 8:21 is our time. As Americans, we honor our vets on Veterans Day when we are reminded of the incredible service and sacrifice of our nation's heroes, but also of the need to support them every single day of the year. The numbers are sobering. Nearly 6,400 veterans died by suicide in 2022. Imagine they go off to risk their lives fighting in wars potentially. There's always the potential they could be called up to get shot at. They survive that and come back and then die by suicide. That is a rate more than 50% higher than the civilian population. So obviously what they encounter is something that changes them for life. Those statistics are a powerful reminder that thank you for your service is just the beginning. You should still say that, but there should be some teeth to back that up. Joining us this morning is Ken Fisher, Chairman and CEO of the Fisher House Foundation, an organization that's been helping military and veteran families for decades by providing comfort homes near hospitals and easing the burdens they face during times of medical crisis. Ken, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Well, listen, first off, good to have a man with a classy first name. We like that. Ken, why is it so important to continue the honoring and the support of veterans and their families, not just for Veterans Day? You know, it's so essential year round. Talk about that, please.
It is, and it's for no other reason except that these men and women bear sacrifices and make burdens that the average American will never understand. You know, remember, only 1% of the population serves today, but that 1% has done so much. And now, as we transition, you know, from wartime to peacetime, the transition from the wearing the uniform to the VA is not as seamless as, you know, as we'd like to see. As you pointed out, you know, some of them come home with post-traumatic stress, and the numbers are sobering. You look at the Brown University study that said that a veteran was 4 times as likely to die by suicide than he was to die on the battlefield, he or she. So, you know, this is one issue, but there are still many others that plague our veteran community today. And as you pointed out, thanks for your service is great. It's something we need to say, but it's not enough. We need to do more.
Right. The thanks for your service is important because it brings to the forefront the thought process. But that should be just the activation in our mind of this is how we start. It's like saying, hi, nice to meet you. Now take it forward from there. And that's really what that needs to be. For those who aren't familiar, talk about Fisher House Foundation and the work that you guys have done serving active duty members, veterans, and their families as well, and their loved ones.
Well, we've been in existence since 1990. We just opened our 100th Comfort House in Chicago. Fisher House builds comfort homes for families of our servicemen, women, and veterans that are receiving care in hospital. Their families can stay in a Fisher House free of charge for as long as they need to. They are usually within walking distance of the hospital, so not only have we removed the financial burden and stress on these families, but also the stress associated with being in an unfamiliar place under a stressful circumstance, because the families in the Fisher houses, some of them are 12, some 16, some are 20 rooms, the families support each other and they lean on each other and they coach each other. They help each other through the bad days. They share the joy of the good days. That's the beauty part of Fisher House. But again, removing the burdens on these families that didn't need additional burdens to begin with, I think is the most important thing that Fisher House does.
Yeah, that is essential. And what kind of support can people lend to Fisher House? Can they do volunteer work, or is it simply donations? What is the best way people can help out?
Great point. There's a variety of different ways to get involved with us. Fisherhouse.org is our website. You'll learn that 94 cents on every dollar goes towards our program services. We're not wasteful. We've gotten 21 straight A+ ratings. Fisher House is not just a lodging program. You can volunteer if there's a Fisher House in your community. There are angels, as we call them. We have a program called Hero Miles, where you can donate unused frequent flyer miles to us. We, in turn, can buy tickets for family members to travel back and forth, because, Ken, as you know, life doesn't come to a screeching halt when a loved one is receiving hospitalization. To date, that program has offered 70,000 tickets, and we've saved them an additional $125 million in tickets and flying back and forth, because the government only does it one time. We have scholarship programs. We're involved in adaptive sporting events like the Invictus Games and the Warrior Games. Fisher House has become a family initiative. We're a family foundation, and when we expand in family-oriented ways, because, as I said before, and as you pointed out, these families make sacrifices and bear burdens that the average American will never understand, because only, again, 1% of this population serves. And you talk about going back for a second and talking about thanks for your service. Think about the Vietnam veterans and the fact that they never even heard a welcome home other than a thank you for your service. So
100%.
we owe these men and women. Yeah,
that was disgraceful that we went through that time in history. Ken, I am only breaking in because we're almost at the end of the segment. I want to make sure we get your website up. What is your website, please?
Fisherhouse.org, and that will tell you a variety of ways to get involved.
Fisherhouse.org. That is the way to go. Ken Fisher, you're a saint for helping these beautiful people out who risked so much for us. Ken Fisher, Chairman and CEO of the Fisher House Foundation. We appreciate what you do. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Ken.
You bet. When we come back, do-it-yourself Halloween costumes. It'll make you the talk of the party. Phone lines open too at 888-658-0234. Sun and clouds, a little windy, highs upper 50s. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings, ONNJ.com, and lots of other platforms. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Bergen Equestrian in Leonia is the top destination for horse riding, lessons, and exceptional horse boarding facilities on over 23 acres in Overpeck Park. Bergen Equestrian has programs for people of all ages and skill sets, indoor and outdoor riding areas, and a riding lounge. Riders can compete in horse shows and special events. Bergen Equestrian offers horse boarding and rentals, seasonal kids camps, and more. Consider Bergen Equestrian for unforgettable memories with kids' birthday parties, private events, weddings, and school trips. Visit bergenequestrian.com.
And a very good morning to you. It is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025, 40 degrees, 8:30. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Morning. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy, highs in the upper 50s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta with a detailed Garden State forecast. Mike, you know, the one thing I used to like when I lived in Florida is no matter what the season,
Yeah.
there really is one season. You just walk out wearing a t-shirt and shorts. You know, once you
Isn't that
get to
nice?
this season, it's always grab the jacket and make sure you got the
Mm,
long pants on. Oh God, what a whiner I
yeah.
am. I'm sorry. So what's our forecast looking like today? Yeah, Pam is mocking me in my ear because she loves this weather. What do we have going on today, sir?
But what's wild about this weather too is because how dry the air is, Ken, you could start the day in sweats or long pants and a jacket and be in shorts and a t-shirt by 2 o'clock because it's in the
True.
mid 70s. And that was what we've had the last few days. And then by 4 o'clock, 2 hours later, you're back to freezing because the area is so dry and it got really chilly with sunset. Well, today, a different story with the clouds already working in offshore. They are going to give us mostly cloudy skies for points south of 195 today. And the rest of New Jersey will finish the day very cloudy, but not anticipating any rain this morning. We stayed dry for the first part of the day. Down the shore, however, you could see some showers as soon as the lunch hour. Some wet weather arriving with those clouds south of 195, and it stays wet only for you today. The rest of New Jersey is kind of under the control of high pressure, which is why it stays dry into this evening, but cool. Our high today is 59 degrees as a statewide average. Look at the rain just offshore. That will slowly move its way northward through the course of the day, giving us our clouds. If you're starting your commute, for instance, say along the parkway driving north, you will see that clearing and that sunshine today. It also won't be as windy off to the northern part of the state as the gusts right now are pretty impressive down the shore. There is the center or the eye of Hurricane Melissa working its way toward the coast of Jamaica. And as it does so, packing winds right now, maximum sustained, the 8 a.m. update, 175 miles per hour. So, yes, a very strong Category 5 storm with the gusts higher than that. The storm, as it moves very slowly, picks up speed and forward momentum throughout tomorrow and Thursday. So it'll be off the coast by Friday, not impacting our weather, but it kind of plays into the nor'easter that we have here in New Jersey by tomorrow evening. And you'll see that here on the Futurecast. Starting off our day with those clouds and maybe some showers by this afternoon down the shore. Then the clouds overtake the state for tomorrow, giving us our gray sky throughout the entire day tomorrow, with a few spotty sprinkles in the mix by the end of the day. Thursday starts off pretty wet, could be a few embedded downpours during the morning, but the heaviest of the rain happens by Thursday afternoon. Look at these shades of red. These are thunderstorms that move on by, giving us anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain in that short amount of time. So a big, fast moving system. There goes the system out to sea on Wednesday night. That's the one that's right now currently down to our south. We tap into this next round of rain for Thursday. That gives us our wind. And then the gusty winds come from the west on Friday, clearing us out, but could be gusting up to 45 or 50 miles per hour at times. So a very breezy finish to the week. Trick-or-treating weather is clear and dry, but very windy, even though the picture says sunny and clear. 57 degrees as the high, cooling into the lower 50s throughout the evening. And then Saturday, some breezes remain, but we're nice and dry by Sunday. We'll tell you more about the drought update with that situation, Ken. That's coming up with another check of your forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Mike. Very good. Thank you, sir. 8:34. We have 42 degrees northern New Jersey, 40 in Trenton. It's 42 in Cape May right now at 8:34. And we look at the mess we have on the highways. Disabled vehicle now on the Garden State Parkway. Check this out. It's being taken care of as we speak. You can see what looks like a fuel spill behind the trucks. Look at that. They're even pulling out for us on that shot. Look at that. Thank you, sir. or ma'am. But that is a mess, and that is impacting traffic again on the Garden State Parkway with that disabled vehicle. It's northbound, north of exit 143C, Route 124, Irvington Township. Left lane is blocked. Looks like more than that right now because of the work they're doing there. So that's going to be there for a little bit. Looks like at least in the next 15, 20 minutes while they clean that up. Other roadways to talk about now. We have a disabled tractor trailer North Avenue westbound by Earhart Drive in Elizabeth. That's not far from the airport, so beware of that if you're headed to Newark Airport. Right lane is blocked. Crash on Route 29 northbound by Calhoun Street in Trenton. The left lane of 2 lanes closed. Downpole Route 208 northbound south of High Mountain Road, Franklin Lakes. 2 right lanes are closed. And on Route 23 in Butler, we have unanticipated construction delays northbound from north of 287 in Riverdale to north of Boonton Avenue in Butler. 2 right lanes closed. We have an issue with a crash investigation, Route 29 southbound from Sullivan Way to south of US 1 in Trenton, with all lanes closed there, and a water main break, Route 53 southbound by Route 46 in Denville, with all lanes closed. Your Hudson River crossings, the Holland and Lincoln, are both reporting 25 to 30. GWB upper and lower level approaches are wide open now. We got a good flow, 20 to 25 minutes in. Very good for this hour of the morning. 8:35 is our time, and Halloween is just around the corner. In fact, it is this Friday, right? And if you are still searching for fun, creative, and affordable costume idea, look no further than your moving boxes. This morning, we're joined by Jeff Metzger, general manager of 2 Men and a Truck in Newark, along with wife Katie, to show us how a few simple materials can be turned into clever boxtumes. That's right, Halloween costumes made out of moving boxes. It's all part of the company's annual effort to spark creativity, give families an eco-friendly way to celebrate, and of course, put those leftover boxes to good use. Jeff, welcome to the show, and Katie too. Good to have you guys on.
Morning, Ken. Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here and excited to show you some of our creative ways to recycle our boxes.
Thanks for
It's a
having
good
us,
thing
Ken.
because look, I love the fact that like you could give a kid, a little kid, 50 gifts for Christmas, and the one thing that they want to play with is a big box. What is it about boxes? The kids love boxes. Is it just the magic of being like it's their own little house or something? What is that about?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look at what the creativity that a box can spur on. So we're just excited to be in the Halloween season and share a little bit about our company and how we can recycle and get the kids involved. So
Yes, it's really fun. Boxing is definitely a family event where we actually have a 2 and a 4-year-old. So our inspiration for the costumes definitely came from what they love. So our 4-year-old daughter loves unicorns like most, and it was so much fun. We got the grandparents involved as well, and it became a family event making costumes, and it's definitely their favorite thing so far.
love getting the
When
kids
did you guys
involved.
first come up with the idea? When did the box tomb concept first hit your mind?
So 2 Men in a Truck is actually the largest franchise moving company in North America. So we've been around for 40 years. And so this has been created over the years through multiple franchises. So yeah, that's how we got the idea. We kind of do it throughout the nation. And so
We obviously have lots of boxes with moving, so what better way to recycle a little bit and have fun with the family?
Absolutely, man. Oh man, I've moved several times over the years, and boy, do you have a lot of boxes left over from the move. Especially if you unpack 10 a day. Now you got all those boxes to somehow do something with. So this is a very clever way to reuse them instead of just giving them to the recyclers. You've seen so many creative designs, I'm sure, over the years. So what are some of the most popular or easy to make box dooms that families can try to make at home for Halloween? You point out the unicorn. What are some others?
Well, the unicorn's a little bit more detail oriented, but there are a lot of easier ones to do. We have a blog on our website that shows you the instructions on how to use them. But a couple of my favorites, the fish tank is fairly easy to do. I like,
Coffee and donuts is a fun one. You can do it. It's also cool because it's not only just for the kids. You can make it for if you have a last minute Halloween party that you're going to, you can grab a box and do a couple's costume with it as well.
Oh,
I
nice.
also,
I think back to like you could do like a robot theme, right? Put a big box on you and have your arms
Yes.
sticking out the sides. There's all sorts of stuff. I mean, some aluminum foil on it to give it that
Our son was
that
Captain
space.
America, so
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's adorable. How cute. Is this
That's
how
Jackson.
old is he there? How old's Jackson
Two.
there? He's
It's
2,
his
he's
best.
perfect, he looks very happy.
Yes.
Oh, look at
He's in
that.
the
And you made that with
superhero phase.
this is definitely the time. Now what is the costume made of? Is that all cardboard?
Yes, that's
Absolutely.
just a box, and that's the best thing. Everything that was from their costumes was either from a box or the Dollar Tree. So it's a really affordable option that you can make these costumes and get the kids creative. Like we let them pick out their designs. Originally, we were thinking a football jersey, which is another really fun one that you could do. But our son is full into superheroes right now, so we let him take the lead on that.
I love it. And what are some of the materials or tools that people may need to get started with those boxes, and how could kids safely help out?
Really, a short list of shopping supplies. So scissors, glue, some paint, and some tape, and you're pretty much good to go.
Our daughter loved doing the rhinestones on the unicorn horn here, so that was definitely a fun thing that the little ones can be involved in.
Oh my God, what is it about little girls and rhinestones? Oh my God, my niece, my
I
my
have
niece
to
Lila,
say it
God
doesn't go
bless her.
away.
Oh my God, between sparkle, I have sparkles everywhere, sparkles on all my clothing from every time I see my beautiful little niece. She's like, she's got sparkles on her face, on her hair, everything, little glitter and everything everywhere. So you guys you're known for helping people move forward, right? 2 Men in a Truck. How does this annual campaign connect with the company's community spirit and values?
We love giving back to the community. Ever since we were founded, that's been a big part of our mission. So whether it's participating in a Touch a Truck event or collecting goods for a local shelter, we deliver boxes of necessity items to different shelters throughout the community. So just any way that we can get involved beyond obviously moving people, we try to do our part in giving back to the community here in Newark and also in Hackensack.
We're
And Jeff
proud to
and
be the
Katie,
movers who care.
and clearly this is a good thing. It's nice that you're part of the community like that. Jeff and Katie, we got about 30 seconds. So what's a website for more information?
Absolutely, yeah. You can visit our website at twomenandatruck.com/Newark. You can also give us a call anytime. Our phone number is 201-201-1207. We give free estimates. We give, free advice on moving. If you need any, last minute supplies, anything like that, we're happy to help any way we can.
There you go. Jeff Metzger, General Manager of 2 Men in a Truck of Newark. And Katie, happy Halloween. Enjoy it with those kids, those beautiful kids. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Ken.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
You too. Thank you. 43 degrees now at 8:43. And when we come back, what family caregivers need, why their work matters so deeply, and how policymakers can better support them. Sun and some clouds today. It'll be a little windy with highs in the upper 50s. Meteorologist Mike Favetta returns with a full Garden State forecast, and we'll take calls at 888-658-0234. You're watching On New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away.
I'm Jack Chittarelli. New Jersey's been home to my family for more than 100 years. I love this state, but we need change. Housing, taxes, and electricity bills are crushing the middle class. And while you were paying more for everything, Mikey Sherrill was tripling her net worth in Congress. We need someone who's honest, with a real plan, someone who gets it. As governor, I'll fight every day for people who work hard and play by the rules, because that's what you deserve. Together, I know we can fix New Jersey. It's time.
Bergen Equestrian in Leonia is the top destination for horse riding, lessons, and exceptional horse boarding facilities on over 23 acres in Overpeck Park. Bergen Equestrian has programs for people of all ages and skill sets, indoor and outdoor riding areas, and a riding lounge. Riders can compete in horse shows and special events. Bergen Equestrian offers horse boarding and rentals, seasonal kids camps, and more. Consider Bergen Equestrian for unforgettable memories with kids' birthday parties, private events, weddings, and school trips. Visit BergenEquestrian.com.
We vote to protect the Social Security we worked hard for. We vote because family caregivers deserve support. We vote to have a say in our future. For all the reasons why, AARP has information about when, where, and how to vote. Find the information you need to make your voice heard.
Countdown to Election Day, presented by AARP New Jersey. Visit aarp.org/NJ Votes.
And welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 8:45, taking calls at 888-658-0234. Sun and some clouds, a little windy, highs in the upper 50s. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken. We still have our drought in northern New Jersey, but I think the rainfall, the 2 to 4 inches that's expected on Thursday, really going to help alleviate the severe drought there in northern New Jersey. Still have the moderate drought shown up in tan, and that translates to anywhere from a 1 to 2 inch rainfall deficit, where it shows up in red, going all the way down to Millville, back toward the south and west. So you can really see where the driest part of New Jersey is. Here up in the northern half of the state, sunshine today to start, but turning cloudy by this afternoon, and that's why we're only in the 50s. It stays cool beyond the 7-day forecast going into the first week of November. I think all of the heat stays out west, and then even throughout the first week of November, the rain chances are a little bit higher. So could get a little bit more wet weather around here in the days and weeks to come. That's certainly the case by tomorrow, and is certainly on Thursday, with the thunderstorms expected, some heavy downpours throughout the afternoon. It all clears out by Friday, but gusty winds remain blowing from the west on Friday. That'll dry out the air for Saturday and keep us clear going into Sunday. The shore points have a bigger impact with the coastal erosion and those 50-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow and Thursday from the east, pushing in all of that water and making for some gusty winds there. But even you enjoy a drier trend beginning Friday, which lasts into the upcoming weekend. So pleasant weather this weekend. Just have to make it through a very wet next few days, Ken.
All right. Very wet next few days it is, but at least we get a good weekend out of it, so we'll take it. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. 8:47 now, and have a good day, Mike. 41 degrees right now at 8:47 in northern New Jersey and 40 in Trenton. In terms of traffic in the area, we take a look over at I-78. We have an overturned dump truck, I-78 local lanes westbound, just east of exit 56, Elizabeth Avenue, Newark. Take a look at the mess you have on the highway there. Left lane of the 2 lanes and the right shoulder are closed, and that's causing about a mile and a half delay right now on I-78. 2 issues to report now on US 1. We have a crash on US 1 southbound, Plainfield Avenue and Edison, with the left lane closed, and we have a disabled truck on US 1 southbound north of College Road in South Brunswick. The right lane of 3 lanes closed there. Garden State Parkway has a crash, and that is at the toll plaza northbound, Union Toll Plaza in Hillside, with the 2 right lanes blocked. And we have a disabled tractor trailer North Avenue westbound by Earhart Drive in Elizabeth, with the right lane blocked there. Crash on 29 northbound by Calhoun Street in Trenton, with the left lane closed, and a down pole on 208. Of course, it just refreshed as I tell you about it. 208 northbound. Come back here. South of High Mountain Road in Franklin Lakes, 2 right lanes closed. Finally, unanticipated construction delay, Route 23 northbound, Riverdale to north of Boonton Avenue, Butler, with the 2 right lanes closed. Your crossings by the Hudson River, the Lincoln and Holland now 20 is at the Holland, 25 at the Lincoln. GWB is looking much better, upper and lower levels. The 8095 approach moving well, with only 20 minutes to make your way into Manhattan. 8:48 is our time, and today we're turning our attention to the millions of family caregivers here in New Jersey and across the country. The sons, daughters, spouses, friends, and neighbors who step up every day to care for loved ones. It is a role filled with compassion, but also with many challenges, emotional and financial, and often physical. And joining us this morning is Crystal McDonald, Senior Associate State Director of Advocacy with AARP New Jersey, to talk about what family caregivers need and why their work matters so much, and how policymakers can better support them. Good morning, Crystal. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ken. Thanks for having me on this morning.
You bet. And who are we talking about when we say family caregivers, and what does that term really mean in practice?
Well, you said it when you opened up this morning. They are family, friends, neighbors. They're people who step up to care for a loved one when they need help. So if you think about the people that are in your life, most of us know someone who is helping to care for an aging parent or is preparing to, or they're caring for a child with a disability or chronic disease. And they're doing lots of things. They're helping with medication management, bathing, meals, transportation, medical appointments, all the way to more medical kinds of care like injections and wound care. And it's a labor of love, right? We do this because we care for our loved ones, but it takes more than love to care for a loved one. And we know that it's messy and complicated and it's time consuming and it's really expensive. We know on average that caregivers are spending about $7,200 out of their own pockets to care for a loved one, often going into more debt, using up their own personal savings. And then they're trying to figure out how to balance work because they're doing unpaid care that's often more than 20 hours a week, plus working full-time jobs because you still got to pay the bills in between all of that. And so, they are the backbone of our society. And actually, AARP has a new report we're releasing later today, 9 o'clock, actually, not too far away, U.S. Caregiving in the United States and across the states. So we'll have some more state-specific data that we'll be sharing and folks can take a look at.
Yeah, I'm living through this myself right now, so that's why these segments from AARP, I'm a member of AARP for many years, and I pay very close attention to this. I have a 95, soon to be 95-year-old dad with dementia and an 87-year-old mom, and I'm watching her trying to take care of him. We try to bring in help, and then my brother and me. So I am with you 100%, and I know exactly what you're talking about here. Caregiving is very rewarding, but it's so demanding. It takes a lot of hours, and so
Absolutely.
it is so
Yeah, they're
important,
lucky
I
to
think,
have
for
you.
policy. Well, I'm lucky to have them. I mean, they
Yes,
gave
that's
me
true.
a wonderful life, so that's why it's a quid pro quo in terms of love. We love each other very much. Talk about
Mhm.
how important it is, though, for policymakers to recognize the support and support rather the work that family caregivers do. Because a lot of people just think, oh, it's family, you're supposed to do that. But as you mentioned, it's all consuming.
Right. And I said this before, it takes more than love to care for a loved one. And they're lucky to have you. We're lucky to have them. But who's really lucky is the state. And so, although caregivers have been around, as long as people have been around, they've already been shouldering the burden of what it means to care for someone. But there are two things that are changing that make it everybody's responsibility. One is that in the next 10 years, less than 10 years now, 9 years, we are going to have more people over the age of 65 than we do school age children for the first time in our country's history. And what that means is that we are going to have more people who need caregiving than we do physical bodies, just like sheer volume of the number of people who will be in the caregiving age range. The second is that we have a shortage of long-term care workers. It's hard work even when it's paid. And unfortunately, it hasn't been kind of a career that's been developed well. And so we are facing this growing need for caregivers and the shortage. And we know right now that we have well over 1 million caregivers in the state of New Jersey, and their unpaid care, is valued at over $17 billion. That's a lot of money, and especially at a time when we're looking at our state budgets and how to manage the growing needs that we have. To put it in perspective, our state's Medicaid budget is give or take $24 billion. And that pays for a large portion of long-term care in New Jersey and across the country. And so we have to figure out how to provide the resources caregivers need so they can continue doing that job. We can't afford to lose any caregivers, and we need to
No.
figure out how to manage, the dollars so that we're investing in them in the future. If that's not enough, 1 in 5 voters are caregivers. That's a lot of people, and they overwhelmingly, across partisan lines, support candidates who work to encourage and provide better caregiving policies.
Yeah, it's just a fact that anyone who has a parent and you still talk to your parents and love your parents, everyone has a parent. You're going to be in this circumstance, and then you have to look ahead for yourself. You have to always make
Absolutely.
sure you're planning ahead. So that's
You know,
important too. Talk about,
the
yeah, go ahead,
mhm.
please.
I was just gonna say the number one personal call that I get from colleagues is, I saved for my retirement, but I didn't save for mom's. And how am I supposed to make this work? We want to do the caregiving work, right? But we do have to figure out, how do we go to work? How do we provide for childcare too? A lot of caregivers are sandwich generation caregivers. And so I really do. This is one thing that when we talk to policymakers and we talk to people on the street, when our members call, that everybody seems to have a personal story of how they're struggling with this.
And it's universal. And I'm 58, so now I'm that age. So I talk to all my friends, any friends from low 50s to mid 60s. They're all going through this right now. And you just, when you're 20 and 30, you just don't even think about it. Not even part of your thought process. You get to
Wow,
this
you'd be
age, and then
surprised. You should
it's
take
a
a look at
reality.
our data later today because caregiving is hitting across all ages. And so we
Good.
feel it, I think, hear about it often as our parents are aging, but we've got caregivers of children with disabilities, young people caring for young
Mhm.
parents, so
That's
I
good.
wish I could post
I'm
it
glad.
now, but take a look later.
That's refreshing that it's younger people are that it's in the mind. And I think, when we come from the old country in the old days, and it's also different families from different countries where you have the multi-generation in the house. I had that. And then you
Hmm.
have other, like I had friends who that wasn't the case. And I think when
Right.
you have the multi-generation, then taking care of the parent or the grandparent is more expected, right? But then when you have the
Mhm.
people who are 18, I was out of the house. I don't talk to my parents about it," that's sort of different. But it's essential. But we all know those people, right? We all know people on both sides. What does it take though? How important is it, Crystal, for lawmakers? Now we talked about the lawmakers across party lines. What can they do with policy and workplace protections, et cetera, to provide better access to resources?
Well, the good news is that we have a law that's already made it through, or a bill rather, that's made it through the assembly that is right now in the Senate. And they have the opportunity to provide better job protections for family caregivers. So, one thing that's great about New Jersey is that we have a New Jersey Family Leave Insurance Program. And this program allows workers to apply who are caregiving for someone who has
Right.
a serious illness or condition, and right now, everyone pays into that program, but not everybody
And I
has
don't mean
job protection. Oh,
I don't mean to cut you off, Crystal, because we're down to the
sure.
last 30 seconds and we have to
Oh,
wrap it.
sorry.
But thank you.
I could
No, no,
talk
no,
all
it's not
day.
your fault. My
But,
fault. My fault.
we
But this is key, and we're at the end of the show. So I just want to make sure to tell everybody as we look ahead to the election season, it's important for caregivers and all New Jerseyans to make their voices heard. For more info on when, where, and how to vote, please visit aarp.org/NJ Votes. Crystal McDonald, you are the Senior Associate State Director of Advocacy with AARP New Jersey. We're going to have you back on. Too important a
All right,
topic,
great.
and
Thanks so
we
much, Ken.
appreciate you. And everything you said was amazing. Thanks for being on today. And that's
Thanks.
On New
All
Jersey
right.
Mornings for today. We appreciate you. We'll catch you again tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Till then, have a great day, folks.